Today we're going to be making a breakfast pizza. This recipe is good for anybody that's too busy to make breakfast every morning. You can cook it days ahead of time and freeze it and wrap it in saran wrap and put it into the microwave for about a minute and a half, depending on how hot you want it. Before you start, you want to make sure you wash your hands. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I know the packet on the back of the dough says 424, it says 475. That's way too high and you're going to burn the dough.
Now that it's open,
go ahead and pour it on. You're going to pour the entire contents into a mold. And then you're going to take some boiling water because it requires hot water. You're going to pour it over top of. If you have a problem and it's not enough water, you can just add water. And you stir it up until it becomes a nice firm ball. If it's too loose, you can always add flour. I would start with like a tablespoon of flour and go from there. You don't want to add too much flour because then it'll taste like flour and not pizza dough. And if it's not firm enough, or if it's too firm and it's not stirring up like it's supposed to, you can always add more water. Again, just start with 1 tablespoon of water because you don't want to add too much. The packet said to use olive oil. You can use olive oil or nonstick spray, and you're just going to spray it over the top just to kind of get it moist. You can go ahead and pour the water in and then just set the oven on medium high because it has to boil. So you want to have it to where it comes to a boil. You're going to take the half packet of gravy. Don't forget only half because you don't need the whole pack. You'll have way too much gravy and your pizza's going to be a mess. You're going to just pour it into the cup and stir it up. You want to make sure there's no lumps in the gravy. Once you finish stirring it, get all the lumps out. Our water's getting hot, so you can pour it in. Now with the gravy, you have to stir it a lot because if you don't, it'll stick and it'll cook to the bottom. So you'll have like a layer of cooked gravy on the bottom, and then you'll have water on the top. So you won't be able to use it if it gets like that because it's kind of gross and it's just not edible. This is lumpy. You don't want it to get like that. So if it starts to cook like that, your stove is too high, so you want to turn it down and keep stirring it because it's starting to cook on the bottom first and it'll start sticking to the bottom, and you don't want that. See how it's getting lumpy and it's sticking to the spoon? You just want to keep stirring it so it doesn't do that. When it's finished, this is how it's supposed to look. Nice and thick, you know. Okay, and for your safety, you do want to make sure you spray the pan away from the burner just to keep from like flame or smoke coming from it. So you just spray it, freeze it really good. You can use a medium-sized pan. A large pan like this would be for if you want to cook a bigger casserole. But for this one, I'm only going to use 2 eggs until it gets hot. You want your oven to be, your stove to be on medium. You don't want it too high because your eggs are going to stick and burn, and you're not going to be able to use them. So depending on your taste, I always say do it to your taste. So when it comes to pepper and salt, if you have high blood pressure, things like that, you may not want to add salt. So I just add pepper, and you can add like a teaspoon of pepper. I have a 1-year-old, so pepper is not, I can't use a lot of it because it's pepper. I'm burning the throat. So if you like pepper, salt, seasoning, you can definitely add your own to your eggs. But if you have kids, you want to kind of be lenient with the salt and the sodium that you're putting into the eggs, because the recipe itself has a lot of sodium in it. We're going to go ahead and spray the pan with non-stick spray. And you can use extra virgin olive oil spray, but I like this one because it doesn't cook as fast, because the olive oil spray will cook fast and it may stick to the pan. So what you're going to do now is just dump the dough into the pan, the casserole dish. And you're just going to spread it out. Spread it. Okay, so now that the dough is spreading throughout the pan, you're gonna just empty the entire pan of gravy over the dough. You don't have to layer it or anything. You're just gonna spread it. Spread the dough, gravy? Yeah, spread the gravy over the dough. You don't wanna have any separation, because the gravies are gonna go under the dough and it's gonna cook under the dough. You've got the gravy spreaded. We're going to open a packet of cheese. And you're just going to spread it over the gravy. Oops. And then once the gravy is spread, you're just going to, the cheese is spread, you're going to spread the sausage over the cheese. Just a little bit. And then add the entire content of eggs. And then spread that evenly as well over the dough. If you want to add a little bit more sausage, you can. All right, and then once everything's completely spread over the dough, you're just going to put it into the oven. All right, so after about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how you like your bread cooked, if you want it soft, you cook it for 12. If you want it a little bit more brown, you cook it for 15. But after it's been in the oven, you take it out. This is what it's going to look like. So you want to have like a little brown around the edges to make sure the dough is done. If you want to freeze it, you can wrap it in saran wrap and freeze it